Hey everyone, it's Cinema Lovers Incorporated back at you again with a brand new video, and today I am reviewing Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, I am very excited to review this film because this movie keeps getting constant backlash. I saw this movie last week with my grandmother, Oma Gritty. We had a blast going to the film, and I enjoy the action scenes and the score brought to you by John Powell. I think John Powell is a fantastic musical composer. He is one of the greats, and I am so happy he composed this film. It felt really beautiful. It felt like it had style, something that Star Wars has been missing lately. And if John Powell ever returns to the Star Wars franchise, I hope he could compose the music once again, if they do another kind of spin-off film. So I think John Powell is your go-to guy. And I enjoyed the action. I thought most of the action scenes were very fun. Really up in your face. I think Ron Howard was really good at directing action scenes like that. So yeah, that's all the good things I have to say about the movie. And I think the performances were fun, but let's talk about the bad stuff now. And Solo has a lot of bad stuff. Now, there were two directors who directed about, I believe, 90% of the movie last year, and then they were let go. And they hired Ron Howard to kind of reshoot and redo everything, really with a tight schedule. And it really shows. Some of this film feels like it wants to be a space western. Other parts feel like it wants to be a family adventure. And it sometimes doesn't work. It just feels all over the place. The action scenes, when they're directed, they're very choppy. Some action scenes are just, they go too much, a little bit too far, in my opinion. I think some of the action scenes are really just too spectacular, and that's good, but you know, it's just, it would be better if the action scenes were directed better. There's really a lot of problems. Let's talk about Han Solo, Aldrin Ehrenreich, who plays Han Solo. I actually thought this guy was fun, but as Han Solo, heck no. He really takes a steaming dump on the Han Solo character. Han Solo is this gruff, tough man who takes no orders from other people. In Star Wars, the original film, he shoots Greedo over some money and flicks the coin over to the bartender. Sorry about the mess. That's all he says. He doesn't believe in the Force. He doesn't believe in anything. And through the film, through the original three films, he changes. He goes through a lot, you know. He evolves. He has a character arc. This film takes a major dump on the character arc. There's a lot of other problems in this movie. There's so many references. They had to even explain where the noises from the Millennium Falcon came from and where Han Solo got his last name from. And it just doesn't work. He gets the name Solo from a random guard. It would have been way better if he got the name Solo from Woody Harrelson, his sort of mentor. I thought that would have been a better approach, a better way to give him the last name, but no, we got it from a random security guard that we will never see again in the Star Wars franchise. Let's also talk about Solo's love interest in this movie, played by the lovely Emilia Clarke. She is awful in this film. I'm sorry. She is boring, and it's not her fault. It's the way they wrote this character. She comes in as this beautiful love interest in the beginning of the film, and I never bought her character. She always looked like a sly dog. I never really understood why Han was attracted to this woman. And I think it's because we have a lack of depth with this character. I think it would have been much better if we saw them grow up in the beginning of the film. If Han was more of a child at the beginning and we saw him kind of grow up more, kind of like Jyn Erso in Rogue One. I know a lot of people don't want children in these Star Wars films, Anakin Skywalker, but I just think it would have worked better for the love interest storyline in this movie. And 3 years later, when they meet up again, when they talk to each other again, it feels really rushed, and the directing is poor as heck. When they meet up 3 years later on this planet, they say, hey, they're acting like they just saw each other an hour ago. If I met up with a love interest 3 years later, I would freaking hug her and kiss her everywhere. You know, that's me. And I think a lot of other people would do that too. But you know, they're just like, hey, hey, and yeah. And also, we have no idea what she did during those 3 years. She tries telling Han the entire time that she did some big stuff, some intense, crazy things. She had to do a lot of stuff. And normally, in a good film, they reveal what people do at the end. But they never told us what she did. So it's just left as a mystery. I know they're setting up sequels, but are they really ever going to bring this character back? I mean, I don't think anybody really enjoyed this character, so we probably will never know. And that really bothers me because it really draws down this movie. Let's also talk about Chewbacca. Chewbacca is such a great character in the Star Wars franchise, and this was such a missed potential. Chewbacca, in the beginning of the film, stated that he was trying to look for his family of Wookiees. When I heard that, I thought Chewbacca was going to find his mother and father and siblings. But no, halfway through the film, he comes across a group of Wookiees who are slaves, a Temple of Doom knockoff, and you see these slaves of Wookiees, and they agree to help each other out. Their introduction is poor. Chewbacca's like, "Arr," and they go, "Arr," and they help each other out, and then they just butt heads, and then they fly away. I'm like, who are you people, you know? Who are you Wookiees? And they just fly off, and we never bring that up again. It's so poor. Let's also talk about the annoying droid in this film. She is a god-awful SJW, shoving it down your throat's droid. She wants droid rights, and she is extremely horrible. The worst part of this film has to be the mind fight. When they're trying to find, I believe, this type of diamond or something for the big boss guy. You know, I forgot his name, I'm sorry. The guy who plays in the Avengers. And this is equally, in my opinion, the worst part of the film. The directing is choppy here. The droid is not helping either. She's screaming, "Woohoo! Be free, all you droids!" It's a very messy scene. Everyone's shooting at each other. Everyone's fighting each other. The Wookiees down in the mine are just helping Chewbacca. You don't know who's which because it's so dark and misty. It's just a mess, ladies and gentlemen. And that is equally the worst part of the film. And the biggest FU to the audience has to be when they plug in that droid to the Millennium Falcon and they tell us that this droid is what makes the noises for the Millennium Falcon in the original trilogy. What? Are you kidding me? Wow. In the originals and in episode 7 and 8, they treat the Millennium Falcon like it's a car. You know, come on, baby, come on. We're not going to run out of gas yet. We can do this. We can get to the gas station. Come on. Don't let me down. I never thought that it was actually a droid female. And, wow. They even have to explain why Han got this golden chain on his Millennium Falcon. Now, I kind of like that, that they explained it. That's probably one of the only things that I liked that they explored. I don't know, it was just me. Another character I enjoyed in this movie was Lando. Now, the guy doesn't look like Lando, but he sounds like Lando, and I think that's good enough for me. I thought he did a decent job, and he was fun, you know? But the characters look like they're dressing up for Halloween. It's just atrocious. Let's also talk about Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson, I really enjoyed throughout the entire film, and you can tell it's directed by 3 different people. At the end, Woody Harrelson says goodbye to Han, and this is like the goodbye of his character. And then all of a sudden, Woody Harrelson comes back and he's a spy. And you can tell it's directed by someone else. And I'm like, why bring him back? Why make him the villain? I liked him. I thought he was a really cool character. So they bring him back and they ruin his entire character, and Han shoots Woody Harrelson and he dies. I'm like, wow. Wow, thanks for ruining that character. Another problem is the train fight near the beginning of the film. These villains are fighting Han and them, and then all of a sudden at the end, they become friends. It just makes no sense, and it's revealed to be a woman. Oh, SJW. Oh, and believe me, she is one of the most SJW women. I mean, she's a ginger with freckles. I mean, they're shoving it down people's throats. It's disgusting. And these guys were bad guys in the beginning, I think. I've only seen this film once, but from what I've remembered, I thought they were bad guys in the beginning of the film when they're on the train, fighting, and wow, so they're not bad guys anymore? It's just a really choppy scene when they come out of nowhere. It's really poorly directed. Let's talk about that Darth Maul reveal at the end. Spoiler, Darth Maul is in this film. I liked Darth Maul, but it just didn't feel right. It felt like they're... I'm making a review! So, sorry about that, guys. So anyways, Darth Maul is in this film, and while I like his portrayal in the film, it just feels like it's out of nowhere, trying to please the audience. And I do think Solo is a very choppy, poorly directed film. There's a lot of problems with it, but if you want action, if you like the score, if you like film scores, I think this would be a good film for you. But if you love Star Wars, don't watch this film because it will take a dump on your childhood. So I will give Solo, a Star Wars story, a C-. I thought the action and music was good, but a lot of the film was really poor. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Leave a like, comment down below. What did you think of Solo, a Star Wars story? Let me know. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye, everyone.